Jurassic Park. Now playing the theater.
Ecto goggles with Ecto Bomber, neutron blaster, and water zapper, each sold separately.
From the corner penthouse of Spook Central all the way to Star Killer Base, this is Yes Have Some Podcast.
Do I? Yes, have some. Yes, have some.
You know, they told me you people were conceited douchebags.
The only place in the multiverse where you can love the book, hate the movie, but still buy all the toys.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Master.
What?
Please remember to hold on to your butts and get ready to get stressed. With your hosts, Craig Goldberg, Abigail Gardner, and Jacob Walsh.
All right, everybody, welcome to Yes Have Some Podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. I am here with Abigail Gardner.
What's up, guys?
And Jacob Walsh.
Yep.
And you didn't think I was going to say and. Like there's another person. There's a mystery person.
There is another.
Joining us for the first time ever, longtime friend, not even a friend of the podcast, just a real life friend.
Yeah.
Ron Daniels, attorney at law. He called me last week and he said, you need to have me on the show because I want to talk about Carole Baskin. And because literally there's nothing else going on in the world except for Tiger King.
So we said yes.
We're going to do it for an update. But first, Ron, man, how are you?
Well, first of all, as I ride up on my jet ski, I would like to point out this is actually the second time I've been here. I was on the show previously. It was my birthday. It was in June.
I remember that.
I don't know if it was last year or 2018, but it happened.
I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I'm remembering that now.
It could have been 2016, but you had Troy on. No, you had either Troy or Chris on from the Interdimensional Cross Riff. You had somebody from Cross the Streams. And then I just showed up. So you had like every Ghostbusters podcast host, a version of one on one show.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Ron started the first ever in the world Ghostbusters podcast, which was Ghosthead's podcast. What year was that?
That was the year before the video game came out, or maybe right there at the start of the year the video game came out. It was, we went from having absolutely nothing to talk about to having tons of things to talk about in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, that's pretty early. That might have been one of the first just podcasts at all. It was 2009.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Early in the game.
There were other podcasts. We stole the idea from some people and, didn't have much editing and didn't have a whole lot of sophistication. But I think we wound up the whole run with somewhere around 60 or 70 episodes.
That's solid.
That was a good run.
Yeah.
That was a good run. And I know you and Jake both have a deep love of the Slime Blower and Ghostbusters 2 in general. Jake, you mentioned Ron was talking about that this week.
Yeah. You're going for it, right, Ron?
I am in.
He's in.
We're doing it.
He's in. We're going to have a Slime Blower party.
Cool.
Yep.
Ron, before you...
Hopefully one day.
Yeah. DragonCon 2023. We'll all get together. Hey, Ron, real quick, before you joined us, we just did a hour bonus episode on Ivan Reitman's classic film Evolution. Do you have any opinions on that movie before we move forward?
Great Googa Mooga.
that says it all.
Yep.
We didn't even cover that. Cool. So,
or was it Great Goog? No. It was Great Googly Moogly.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Yeah,
which is secret.
It's the same sentiment. Reads the same.
Okay, Ron, you're an attorney. You know everything there is to know about things like, I don't know, wills and power of attorney and when it's time to pull the plug. And I'm just making shit up. What do you know about Carole Baskin? I want you to enlighten the world. I feel like this is going to be a big deal. This is like real law advice. This is not just me bullshitting.
Yeah.
It's the real deal.
And also enlighten us on your background with Tiger King and how you started watching and what your obsession level is and how you started thinking about these things. So background's always good.
So on a level of 1 to 10, I'm probably about a solid 7 on Obsession.
Yeah. Got it.
My wife actually started watching, I believe it was Wednesday night of the week it came out, and made it through the first 2 episodes. And then Thursday night, she was started on episode 3 and got halfway through it. And then I started getting these murder mystery vibes. And there was just enough like lost stuff in there that I was kind of like hooked, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
The next Saturday morning, I got up with our daughter. I get up on Saturday mornings early with her and have daddy-daughter time. And I watched the first 3 episodes, just like binged them before my wife got up. And then we just kind of went on and finished watching the series, I think on that Saturday.
God, that's
nice.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Tiger King captured the hearts of most of America. It caught us, it took us by storm. We didn't even see it coming. Didn't even see it.
My favorite thing from the whole series, though, is not Carole Baskin or anything really like anybody else talks about, but there's like this scene where this guy's walking around and there's like 5 dachshunds running around in the pen with a tiger.
Oh, yeah. In there with the tigers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like playing around.
Oh, my God.
There's a lot of really good stuff like that. It's the stuff that maybe people don't think about, or it's a little bit more like the like Jake and I were talking this week about Rick Kirkman, who's the producer, might be the secret sauce of that whole thing. Because the way he narrates the story.
Wasn't he in Casper?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Wasn't he on Hard Copy?
Well, he was like a real news reporter. Like he did.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy they sent out. He's like the guy who they sent out to do like to test out the what do they call those things? Rocket packs and stuff like that. Like Rick Kirkman will do anything.
Yeah, on the scene.
He was not a real news reporter. There's only one real news reporter. That is the handsome Chase Ambrose.
That is true. That is true.
Now, he was maybe a personality on television on a news show that happened to deliver reports, but he was not a news reporter.
That's an important distinction.
Because there's only one.
Okay.
I feel like Chase.
That's the law.
I feel like Chase should have been on Tiger King, like covering it somehow. I don't know. Missed opportunity.
It would have only made it better.
Okay.
There's always room for a sequel.
Well, there's like I just read today, some other channel is doing a separate docuseries specifically on Carole Baskin's missing husband. It's just gonna be like its own thing. I think this is the TKU, the Tiger King universe.
Yeah.
It's Tiger King
Spin-offs.
multiverse. There's gonna be an all-female version.
Yeah, Tiger King LA.
It's going to really jump the shark when there's Tiger King UK.
Oh, man. So, Ron, you said it started really piquing your interest when they kind of start getting, like, first of all, as a lawyer, what do you think of the guy? What was Carole Baskin's husband's name?
Don Lewis.
Don Lewis. What do you think of Don Lewis's attorney?
Actually, I think his attorneys, I actually looked him up on Facebook and tried to Google him and learn some stuff about the guy. And he seems very interesting. He's got kind of a pretty wide array of, most lawyers specialize in something, maybe 1 or 2 things, but he seems to have pretty diverse experience, which, there's a certain generation of old lawyers that's more common in, and it's sort of uncommon in younger lawyers, but you still see it every now and then. But it's pretty clear he knows a lot about different types of law, and he seems to be like a real straight shooter. If you look at his Facebook page, it's clear that he doesn't believe Carole Baskin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you can infer from that what you will, but really what drove me kind of to wanting to talk to you guys is I saw where Carole Baskin responded to some of the allegations made in the series and said they over dramatized it. And then she goes on to explain. And that's usually when I'm looking at my clients and I'm talking to my clients, I always tell them, don't explain things.
Yeah.
That's when you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Let me explain it for you. The less talking you do, the better off we are. And so she starts explaining it that the power of attorney says or disappearance because he has dementia and he's been known to wander off. And that unravels everything, because what do you not have capacity to sign if you have dementia is a power of attorney or will.
Oh my God. You're right.
That's really
She knowingly prepared a document for somebody she knew was suffering from dementia and had them sign it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and also
could potentially invalidate the whole thing.
Also, the whole dementia thing, it didn't seem like anybody had ever mentioned that except for Carole Baskin. Like her family, his family was like, he didn't have dementia.
Yeah.
Of course, he left them in the dirt, went to Costa Rica.
He forgot about them, but it wasn't the dementia.
Yeah, they just sucked.
And you know, it's, if somebody's suffering from dementia, there's going to be medical records of that. There's going to be a diagnosis. You know, it's not something you really just say off the cuff. Oh, they've got dementia.
Yeah.
You can say somebody's crazy, but you know, you don't use the word dementia.
Right. That's a very specific medical diagnosis.
Yeah, symptoms and all that.
So Ron, so the where they wrapped up with because really the Carole Baskin stuff is it's not the main part of the documentary, but it's a big part of it, and basically. It doesn't really resolve itself other than there's some suspicion, and Joe Exotic and his people hammered home that suspicion. Whether or not he's in the septic tank or was fed to the tigers, I mean, who knows? But so from your perspective as a viewer and then your perspective as a lawyer, like where if you were representing somebody who wanted to take her down, what would you do? Because I want to hear both sides of it. I want to know what you would do to take her down and what you do to protect her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so if I was going to take her down as a prosecutor or you know, maybe a civil suit, if I was representing the rightful heirs of her former husband, I think the most telling thing, because you got two different standards. Yeah, the most memorable case is the O.J. Simpson case. Remember, he was acquitted. There wasn't enough evidence to get beyond reasonable doubt, but there was what we call a preponderance of the evidence for a civil case, which just means basically you got to have 50.01% on one side and 49.99% on the other. If you're on the 50 side, you know, you've carried your burden. It's a lot easier, and I think there's enough red flags that from a civil perspective, a jury could easily say, yeah, you know, something's fishy here. It doesn't add up. She gained a lot from this. If I was prosecutor, I actually think they're doing now what the best thing to possibly do is, because I don't know if y'all paid attention to it, but the sheriff's office down there has reopened the investigation and has asked if anybody has tips to submit them. And you'll be surprised what something like this documentary would do for a cold case. There was a podcast in Georgia a couple of years ago called Up and Vanished.
Big fan.
That basically it didn't really move the needle in the investigation if you really look at what was going on, but it created this like a pressure cooker down there that made other people, you know, start to say things that then leaked into the investigation, which basically created new leads for it. So it's sort of almost a indirect effect of just drawing attention to something. Somebody knows something. And if pressure can start getting around, that generally breaks things loose. I'd actually represented somebody before in Houston County on a cold case, and it was a 35-year-old murder case that was unsolved. And after 35 years, they decided they were going to indict my client, and we dealt with it, and the case got resolved. But you know, it's surprising what, you know, something as simple as the victim's parents sending a letter to the Telegraph, the local newspaper, every year on the anniversary of the victim's death, it creates sort of a pressure to cause other people in the community to open up even after 35 years.
Right.
So,
Well, that's kind of what happened with Up and Vanished, which is it brings so much public attention. All of a sudden, everybody in the country, maybe the world, is now talking about this little, suburb of Tampa Bay. So all of a sudden you're in the spotlight, and it forces
like
people
Oscilla.
like Oscilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pressure. I mean, what it is a pressure cooker. And what happens is you have people that have information. Nobody's talking to them. They go about their business for 20, 30 years, 10 years, however long. And then all of a sudden there's pressure on them. And it's not necessarily people exerting pressure directly on them, but somebody may be snooping around and they know it. And then they start getting second feelings about what they've done and what they know. And then they let something slip. And then all of a sudden you busted an investigation wide open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now let's say it's let's say Carole Baskin. Is it Baskin or Baskins?
Baskin.
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
But it's
let's say Carole
Baskin's husband.
Let's say she calls that 1-800 Ron Daniels number tomorrow. We'll give out your real number if you want to. I assume that I don't think that's your number. Well, let's assume it is. Let's say she calls and she says, "This pressure cooker's happening. I need some protection. I need somebody who's going to get me out of this and protect me." What? You don't have to give away all of your secrets, but what do you start thinking about if you're going to be defending her in a civil court? Like, I don't know if anything. They're never going to have the evidence to prosecute. Put her away or anything, but I could definitely see some civil lawsuits. So what do you think about that?
Well, so I think probably the best strategy to look at in defending her is where's the body? It's sort of an old cliche thing, but we don't know that he's dead. So
right.
It could be like the Matlock episode. I could just point to the door and he's going to walk in.
Yeah.
God, that would be
really
so cool.
Tanned. Yeah. He'll be really tanned from being in Argentina.
Yeah. He flies in a tiny airplane, like Snoopy. He's flying around the courtroom. Look, Don Lewis is here.
I really think that's the best thing she's got going for is just the fact that you can't really say, he's legally dead because he's presumed dead. There's no proof that he is actually dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And I guess that's and we talked about it a lot last week, but the conclusions that I came to are, I don't know personally. I don't think she killed him or had a hit out on him, but this guy was associated with a lot of people who seem to be doing a lot of maybe not so great stuff.
Nefarious.
I think she probably knows more than she's leading on to. And maybe there's a case in that. Maybe that's where maybe just the fact that she might know more than she's saying could open up the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what's interesting is just there was a certain level of just being very nonchalant when talking about it. I think that probably fanned a lot of flames of suspicion.
Yeah.
I don't think she did herself any favors by being interviewed for the documentary, because just sort of her attitude comes off as creating suspicion, because you're wondering about the veracity of what she's saying and, whether she's sincere. And if you're asking those sorts of questions, then she's already behind the 8 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Because you've got motivation because they didn't get along before his disappearance and had huge disputes about the treatment of the cats and the future of their zoo and all that shit.
Yeah, she had it's like what Ron said a little while ago. She had a lot to gain, and what did she have to lose?
Right.
An old husband who she probably wasn't even that into anymore.
Yeah.
I just like their origin story. I want to see more about the night they met with the gun and the walking down the street.
That's what I want to see.
Well, damn, Ron. I think Ron Daniels is blowing this case wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we have a true crime
Put him on the
podcast.
case.
Yeah, we need
I like
YHS True Crime spinoff. Each
Yeah.
week we tackle a new cold case.
Yeah.
Preferably something that's already been tackled, but we'll put our spin on it. My favorite.
Yeah, we only deal with cold cases that have been solved.
Cool.
Hot cases. Cases that were so cold that they became hot and solved, and that we wanted to take another double jeopardy examination. My favorite thing about when Up and Vanish was going on, my favorite was when Hal Clay was like, "Oh, I know half the cops in that town." Hal was somehow connected to what was her name?
God damn it.
It was something.
No, I gotta look
Tara
it up.
Grinstead.
Tara
That was her
Grinstead.
Yeah.
So Ron, listen, I'm so happy that you did this, and I don't want this to be a one. We got to figure out a way to get Ron on the show more.
Anytime there's legal advice, he's our
I feel
YHS.
smarter already.
Yeah, counseling.
I like this.
Do we owe you money, Ron, for this?
I think we do.
No.
Oh, cool.
cool.
No.
You don't have an hourly. Any of that?
Ron, what
No retainer fees.
That's it.
if anybody wanted to seek out your services? What would they need to do?
Well, you just go to www.rondanielslaw.com.
Very
It's
cool.
that
Easy, folks.
And what kind of stuff are you taking on these days? You got a pretty diverse background, but do you have any focuses or anything?
So I primarily deal with abusive debt collection, credit reporting errors, and personal injury. I do a lot of civil litigation, and I do some criminal defense work too, but I don't really advertise for criminal defense work.
Yeah.
And is My Cousin Vinny one of the greatest films of all time?
Ooh.
It's good.
It is good. I just, it's one of my favorite movies, and I read that lawyers actually appreciate that movie because it is a semi-realistic portrayal of some of the things that go on in a courthouse.
It is. And I always just really enjoyed it because the judge is played by, Herman Munster.
Yeah.
Of course.
I like it because it's a very accurate representation of grits and how they're cooked. And I like it. That's a plot point.
Grits don't get enough love.
Yeah.
Well, listen, head to rondanielslaw.com. He's going to help you out. Mm-hmm. It's not a paid sponsorship. This is just friends helping friends.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm glad that Ron came on the show to shed some light on Beryl Caskin. That's what I call her. And I think as this case progresses, maybe like once a month, Ron, you should jump on the line and we can go over the latest developments.
Oh, for sure.
Because Tiger King's not
Get some
going anywhere.
updates.
I am happy to keep coming on the show to talk about legal stuff as long as y'all have me.
Hell yeah.
Cool, man.
We'll do a Casey Anthony episode next week.
Oh, cool.
I don't know, maybe.
Casey Anthony's probably got a quarantine podcast about how to do home parenting the right way.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Did I just cross some lines?
I don't know.
I
We'll
think I
see.
did. Ron, congratulations on your baby girl.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are doing well down there.
Yeah. Enjoy
And
that time.
we'll catch up soon. I hope you're staying safe and healthy. And it's
Distant.
it's a bummer about the new Ghostbusters movie, but when it ramps up back again, we'll all be happy.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll have the ladder ready.
Yes.
All right, Ron. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Later, dude.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Hopefully we won't have to call him for legal help soon.
No, Ron's already helping me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. He's actually kind of in that nook with like the debt collection and stuff like
Listen.
that. I'm not going to say anything.
Listen, if you're a toy collector,
Yeah, you understand. You've probably been collecting some debt too.
yeah, Jake, if you're a toy collector, you're probably not great with money, so you might need Ron Daniels.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Cool. So thank you to Ron. Jake, what before we go any further, what do you think about what Ron had to say about Carole Baskin?
I think he's probably, it's just like, it's weird little things you don't pick up on, and like things that we don't know because we don't study law or anything like that. So it's cool to hear, like what he's got to say and Ron's perspective. And Ron's always just fun to talk to and listen to anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Ron's great because he's very funny and he's also very smart.
Yeah.
And that's the best combination in
Yes.
human beings. Kind of like a Joe Exotic.
For sure.
He's funny and smart.
Yeah.
He's a triple threat, double threat.
Oh my God. I want Joe Exotic to hear the 20 minutes we just did with Ron Daniels, and I want to hear what he says about it.
Hey, if he heard that, he would hire Ron Daniels immediately.
I will go down to Houston County, Georgia, and get Ron Daniels because I'm from Oklahoma and he gonna help me.
Dude, I hope we can facilitate that.
By the way, Ron does not live in Houston County. I bet he would be so mad.
Where does he live?
I don't know, but like people from the South, if you get their county wrong,
yeah,
that's like a big thing.
Well, I'd get mad too. We're Fulton County. I don't want to be in DeKalb.
Fulton County.
We're Fulton County. I'm sorry.
For those who didn't get the latter reference at Dragon Con, the parade last year, Ron made this was during the Ecto 1 ladder controversy. Ron, the night before the parade, him and Jairus, who's another friend of the Ghostbusters community, built the ladder and carried it in the parade.
I'm pretty sure I was having the conversation with the two of them when Ron decided to do that, and he was like, all right, Jairus, we're getting up 8 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go down to Home Depot. We're gonna build us a ladder. And I was like, what?
Dude, they did a Home Depot build the day of the parade.
Jairus was drunk. He's like, no, Ron, okay, I'll do it. Well, that was a little bit of a different opening, but listen, we're living in different times.
Yeah, I liked it. We all need legal counsel now.
We do.
We are opening the show with it.
I love Ron Daniels.
Yeah, me too. We stayed in a room with him out in LA for the premiere of Answer the Call. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some fun times.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Jake, what did you buy anything this week? Just to let everybody know. Here's the situation.
Yeah.
Let me go further than phone. Those weren't words.
Are you going to tell them about the granola bar that you're eating?
I'm so hungry.
I know. We've been podcasting for like 4 hours.
Jake, are your schedules messed up because of this quarantine?
Yeah, I've basically been staying up until 4 o'clock every morning and waking up at like 11.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's pretty.
Day is
that's
night.
about it.
Night is day. Up is down.
Left is
right.
My sleep schedule. Well, I'm working from home, so I have to keep a pretty normal daytime schedule, but I'm still staying up later than normal. And my eating schedule is really weird because Abby's not working right now. Mm-mm. So you're sleeping in way late.
Yeah. I'm working on Animal Crossing. Going to work. Yeah, I sleep in late. I've been trying to get up earlier, but I just ignore my alarm. There's no reason. I enjoy staying up very, very late at night.
There's no reason to get up.
It's fun. Yeah. As of late, we've been really watching shows, movies. And
I've been doing this.
Yeah.
I do this thing where like, you know when you're on Facebook and a video pops up, and if you watch that video, you can scroll and there'll just be more videos and you end up spending like an hour doing that. I've gotten to the point where every night at around 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, okay, cool. It's Facebook video time. And I get on Facebook videos and
you
my
plop
current
your eyelids open like in fucking Clockwork Orange. And just
yeah, exactly. And like my current, there's always like, I don't know how they pick what videos pop up for you, but recently it's been like a mix of, I keep getting these like clips from the Howard Stern show, which I'll watch some of them. And then I get a lot of like cringe videos where you just watch people be really weird. And then I'm getting a lot of these videos where it's like, hey, here's 5 really creepy, unexplained videos caught on film. And I'll just watch those until I'm too scared to watch them anymore.
Well, that sounds like a good like pre-sleep routine.
I don't get any of the. By the way, it's all targeted because like usually when we go on like trips and stuff, we go to Toy Fair. At any given time, you just look over at Jake. He's just on the bed watching like people fighting, public freak out.
I think what it is for on those Facebook videos, I think it takes in like which videos you watch all the way through.
Yeah.
And if you watch one all the way through, then you just start getting a lot more of that kind of video.
If you watch that cake be made in a pan once, like however they do, I love watching those like satisfying people making food.
Was it in New York? Like we're about to get on the plane and Jake was like, my goal for this trip is to see somebody freak out on an airplane.
I think it might have been after New York. I think I called you about it.
Oh yeah.
It might have been before New York. I don't know, but I was just like, you know what? With the amount of air travel we do. I just feel like I've watched a lot of people freak out in an airport, and they're always very funny because it's always like people.
Hey, one time it was Abby and me.
Yeah.
One time it was you guys. It's not funny when it's people in your party. It's funny when it's embarrassing for other people.
Yeah,
it's fun. There was a lady that freaked out on the way to LA. We've told the story before because she did not know it was going to be a 5-hour flight, and she was demanding a lot of this flight attendant. I almost said the other word.
What?
Stewardess.
Oh. That's not that bad.
It's not that bad. But yeah, it's like, it's a pretty common thing. And it's nice when it's someone else, not you.
The videos I always get are like the ones of like a dog who was homeless and then like he's stepping on grass for the first time.
Yeah.
But like,
mine's like this rescue cat from Greece doesn't have the function of his back leg. And then I'm like in it for another hour.
But like, it's always like, it has like the dumb subtitles that explain to you what's happening, and it tries to attribute emotions to the animal. And it's not like the dog likes the feeling of the grass. It'll be like, this dog is feeling grass for the first time. His life's about to take a turn for the better. And I'm like, oh man, he doesn't even know.
No idea.
This grass is gonna feel so good. Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
So let me go to our schedule.
Time lapse. What time does that happen?
We did the Ron Daniels. We did the Facebook videos talk. Okay, we're good. No. My schedule's just messed up. My eating. Oh, it was because I was eating the granola bar.
I bought a puzzle.
Yeah.
What'd you end up getting? So yeah, Jake called yesterday and said you were starting a new YouTube channel
That's a
called
symptom of quarantine.
Puzzle Hunters.
Well, I haven't I told you this yesterday. I haven't been very bored. I've been keeping pretty busy. I've been going on a lot of walks. I finished a book, which I want to talk about in a minute. I read a book. I watched the movie to the book. I have been painting a lot. I bought a bunch of like drawing stuff on it. I've been pretty busy, but I was like, I've seen other people posting that they're doing puzzles, and it just like, I was like, I kind of want to do a puzzle. So I went to the store, and I was like, should I be going to the store just to buy a fucking puzzle right now? But I went, and there weren't many puzzles left. I bought 2 of them. I bought one that's like it's like a seek and find. Like it's like a picture that's just full of stuff. So once the puzzle's put together, you can like look through the list and go find all the things. And then I bought an ET puzzle.
So once you're done with your work, you can do some more work.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's the ET puzzle?
It's that one that it's just the movie poster, but it like is the one that comes in the like it looks like a Blockbuster case.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh shit.
We talked after the puzzle conversation. We talked about there was a what was it? Oh, Mondo. Yeah, Mondo. Obviously, they put out prints and albums and things like that. Let me explain what Mondo is. I lost my train of thought. I was trying to get it back. You called me out.
Mondo puzzles?
Mondo's putting out puzzles based on some of their famous
artwork?
posters.
That's tight.
Yes.
I think we should put out puzzles with our artwork.
My
what? Do you need another granola bar?
I'm losing my. This is like we're gonna look back at this time and be like, remember that
You're actually like Joaquin Phoenix. Stop laughing.
This is the episode where Craig lost his mind. Abby's gonna have one where you lose your mind, and we're all.
Oh, I think I've had that one a couple times before, actually.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is Mondo is putting out puzzles, which is extremely smart because A, it's a collectible. B, everybody wants to do puzzles right now. But the problem is it's like a pre-order.
Yeah, but I went and looked at it, and it says like 6 to 8 weeks. Like this, we'll be done with this shit before those puzzles.
I could illustrate. And
people
make
are still waiting. People are still waiting on Black Friday stuff from Mondo. Nobody's getting those puzzles anytime soon. That's not a joke. People are still waiting on the Black Friday Mondo stuff. So like whatever.
Dude, it's like a Novos. They're gonna fund all the Black Friday prints with these puzzles.
What's happening?
Problem.
Yeah. Everybody's going through it.
Everyone's going through stuff.
We all need to be bailed out.
We need a bailout.
Yeah, and a puzzle.
Okay, cool. So, yes, our schedules are weird, but we do appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate Ron Daniels taking time out of his busy schedule to join us to talk about Tiger King.
And everyone hanging out during our eBay live purchase hangouts. That's been keeping things kind of normal. At least I know when Friday is.
Yeah, so...
That's what we do on Fridays.
So, yeah, let's talk about a couple things here. Abby just mentioned the Facebook group therapy, eBay hangs. We've done them the last 2 Fridays. And listen, as long as people are enjoying it and it's a nice piece of escapism and it's fun for everybody, we'll keep doing it.
As long as Brock and Jessica keep showing up, keep doing it.
I like them.
There you go.
So it is funny when people take pictures of themselves watching you like on their flat screens and then they post them. It's like, hey, Mom, I don't mean to brag, but I'm a big TV star now. So
Extreme cap send to Mom.
Deal with it.
Mom, I'm might be on TV right now.
What channel? Well, not all TVs, but just some TVs.
Internet worldwide. 6 p.m.
Anyways, so we're doing these eBay hangs. You have to be a member of Yes Have Some Group Therapy on Facebook to join them. There's a chance maybe if they increase in popularity and we need to branch out beyond group therapy, maybe we will. But for now, we'll leave it in group therapy. It's kind of just it
keeps it more fun, I think.
It's a big hangout. And we get on eBay. Didn't buy that much last week. Did a lot of searching. I'm in this weird place with toy collecting right now where I want to be responsible with money, but also I've really gotten a lot of the stuff I was really itching to get. So I don't want to just buy to buy. Having said that, after our bonus episode, I might be searching for some Evolution toys this week. Dude, I don't know.
Yeah. I want that clear ghost, gassy.
Yeah. So tune into the eBay hangs Friday nights. It's a lot of fun.
Join group therapy to do so. It's very easy. All you have to do is log into Facebook and search for Yes Have Some Podcast Group Therapy. You will find our closed group, and then either myself, Jake, or Craig will accept you, and you can start posting very quality content. No memes, or Ryan will take it down. And I did that unprompted, so
that was good.
You're welcome.
And then Jake had the idea of the century this week. He called me up. And he said, hey, Craig, I got an idea. Apparently, he was the guy from Waterboy when he did that.
Oh, okay.
The dad from Sean's dad from Boy Meets World. This was Jake's idea, and I want to give him credit. But we, for the entire month of April, Patreon, Yes Have Some Patreon, is absolutely free. We made all of our episodes public. The feed is available. We made posts about it in group therapy as well as our main Facebook page. So that is a complete archive of bonus content, 30 or 40 bonus episodes we've done over the last 2 years. Absolutely free. We very much appreciate it. And where we appreciate you tuning in. We just did a new bonus episode that will go up either today or tomorrow on the movie Evolution. Ivan Reitman, 2001 directed Evolution. Had a lot of fun talking about that. And yeah, you can go to Patreon. You can listen to the episodes there.
You know, Craig, you're not being completely honest. My idea was to charge double for the month of April.
That's what he said. He said, listen, I don't know what's going to happen to this world, but we need to suck the money dry from Yes Have Some people.
I'm skipping eBay hangs and I'm increasing the Patreon budget.
Now, Jake, you did say that the eBay hang was something you might have to sit out a little bit. Are you?
I'm sitting out, dude. I liked it and it was fun, but I have a problem. I am not in a in to be spending money. Like I'm not.
We
like
need
you
music.
Guys,
We need music.
Like
is this like an intervention? Like if you're
we need
having
some
trouble,
intervention music or something.
Something serious?
No, it's not intervention. It's just that I know that I'll whenever you guys did the last one where I watched along, I ended up like putting a bunch of bids in on some very expensive toys, which I would have bought, and I would have done it last week if I would have came for that, and I would do it this week if I were to come to that. And I don't have an income right now. Like I don't have like a stimulus check. My job's not still paying me. I have no job, and my job might not even still exist whenever.
New idea.
This gets back together. So
new idea. Patreon will not be free. All of the Patreon money is going to... What is this?
Dark piano music.
Listen, I don't want to pressure Jacob Walsh into buying anything on eBay, but I feel like if he doesn't, he might fade away altogether.
The video that I picked for this says 1 hour of dark piano. It has a man sitting on steps with a noose hanging behind him. It's very upsetting. I like it.
All right, turn that
I'm taking
off.
a picture of it.
Let's get serious.
Yeah,
serious.
I have fun doing those. I I know I'll spend too much money if I go on. I'm just going to sit them out for now.
Yeah.
We do appreciate people have been posting their purchases that they've got. They say it's infectious. Like,
oh yeah,
and that's
it is. Yeah,
yeah. We have enthusiasm about this.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's almost dangerous, which is why Jake has to sit out, and I understand and I respect that. And if you got to cut back, then just join in still. Just don't buy anything.
Maybe after this week, we'll go to every other week or twice a week. I haven't decided.
I think financially we might have to.
The longer
every Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Whenever I get my unemployment check that day.
Okay, cool. So tons of fun. We're trying to do different kinds of content. And let's face it, folks, tonight's episode is kind of a free-for-all because there's just not that much going on in the world that pertains to the stuff we normally would talk about. Everything's
on hold.
Hollywood is at a shutdown. There's no new TV shows coming out. There's no new movies coming out. Updates are limited. So we want to keep it fun and we want to keep it positive. But to put a cap on the Patreon thing, it is free for this month. If you are currently a member of Patreon, you are going to get the months of May and June for free to make it fair for everybody. And the Evolution episode will be up in just the next 2 days. And we'll probably put it on the main feed as well, just so everybody has equal access to that. Cool. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed talking about Evolution. And our new goal will be to get Jason Reitman on the phone to talk, or Ivan. I want any Reitman. If your last name's Reitman, even if you're not related, I want to talk about Evolution.
A Reitman. Either
Reitman.
Yeah.
Their mother. That's her name. Okay. Cool. Now, we've gotten all that out of the way. I think people want to know, 4 weeks ago, we did our End of the World episode.
Okay.
Where we were like, oh, things are getting bad. What are you going to take to your private island during the quarantine? And it was like, ah. And then the second week, it was like, oh, this is kind of serious. And then the third week is like, okay, we're officially like, can't leave our houses.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm just coming up with this on the spot, but I feel like our Yes Have Some audience wants to know what we're doing to occupy our time when we're not podcasting. What shows are we actually watching? Are we binging shows? Are we watching movies?
I watched Cats last night.
Whoa.
Talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I haven't seen it yet. Dude, was it the butthole cut or the non-butthole cut?
Yeah, let's talk butthole. Which had more butthole, Evolution or Cats?
There's no buttholes, but there's so many shots where if there were buttholes, it would be so gratuitous.
Okay,
like there's so many times you're seeing that area of a cat.
Yeah. It's like being at my house.
The movie's horrifying.
Okay.
And I think so the first half an hour, I was really enjoying it because it really, like, all the things you've heard about it, it's worse. Like it is. It is like a marvel of modern technology for how something can be, how every shot of a movie can be the worst shot of CGI you've ever seen. Like, it is bad. It's so bad. All the characters, like, their heads don't match their bodies half the time. The movements are really like weird and janky, and it just, none of it looks good. So the first half an hour, I'm like, whoa. This is insane, and I'm enjoying it because it's funny. But then, like, an hour in, I just hated it. I was like, this is bad. You wanted
to do with that
it's
dark
very
music
long.
Insisting
all the
people
songs suck. Like, all the songs suck, and it's song after song after song. There's no talking. There's no breaks for talking. It's just songs all the way through, which isn't a bad thing when the songs are good. They're not good. None of it makes sense. There's all these like made up words. Like, it's just complete, utter like insanity all the way through. None of it, like, nothing lines up. They're like, the scales of the cats is like, it changes from scene to scene. Like when they're interacting with other things, there's like a scene where, the one cat who was played by, I can't remember her name, but she's in, I don't know. She's
Wilson,
in a bunch of movies.
Taylor Swift, Jennifer Hudson.
Rebel Wilson.
Cool. I'm looking at the cast.
There's like a scene where she's like eating cockroaches, and I'm like, well, this is weird. And then there's like multiple times where she unzips her skin and pulls it off and has like an outfit on underneath it.
What?
And I'm like, what is happening?
Is that not like a cat?
Some of the cats know magic. And like some of the cats can like disappear.
It's like Joe
and
Exotic.
reappear.
Cats and
They're
magic.
all very scary. Look, it's just weird. It's fucking bad, but I think everybody should watch it.
What do you think happened? Like, how did it get that bad? Is it just bad from the start? Like, hey, if you're going to try to adapt Cats into a musical, is it just a bad idea to try to do it with real actors like this?
Well, I don't know, man.
Or, sorry, a musical movie.
I was going to say it was a musical. It has source material that like.
No, I know Cats was a musical, but what I'm saying is,
but that version of Cats is also like that version of Cats is also bad. But the thing that it has going for it is that like it's just real people in costumes, and some of the costumes, like it's kind of cool looking, and it's like this thing where, you know, even if you don't enjoy the show or the music, it's kind of cool to see all the work that was put in the costumes. But this is all 100% CGI, human faces on weird cat/humanoid bodies, where their bodies are still like kind of shaped like people, but they're cat. It's just it is the scariest looking thing you can see. It's like a nightmare. The whole movie is a nightmare.
Yeah. I'm looking at images.
It's just all so unsettling looking. Nothing looks good. There is one scene where like one of the cats was singing a song and she's crying, and there's like snot coming out of her nose and shit. And I'm just like, who put this on film? Like, why is this? It's just all super weird.
Who directed this movie?
I don't fucking
I'm about to find out.
I was going to find out. I'm looking forward to it. I mean,
the musical's by Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yes.
The film is directed by Tom Hooper. It's his second feature musical following Les Miserables and something else.
Oh God! Of course he did. Les Miserables.
Did you see the guy who cast Russell Crowe?
Fucking idiot! Oh my God! I don't even have a good frame of reference, but I know that shit sucks.
What else has he directed? I just want to know. I want to know what his good.
She just said that was it.
I just said no. There's something else. Tom Hooper. Let's click on Tom Hooper.
Oh, Toby Hooper.
It's not Toby. It's not Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But it might be scarier.
It is scarier.
Right. Find it.
We're going to the filmography.
Here we
Here we go.
Stuff I don't know about.
But just a bunch of bullshit.
This looks like literal, just all bullshit.
All
okay.
Right. How's Taylor Swift?
I mean, she's in it for one song. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
But
just one?
It's still a shitty song and it still looks like shit.
She's already mostly cat, so it should translate better. I want to see the movie. I like that it had that like cult following immediately with people seeing it together in the theater, like laughing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it.
Okay, cool. So what else?
I paid to watch it. I rented it.
$20?
No, $4 regular renting. I didn't, not that fucking dumb theater bullshit.
Oh, did you get a coupon for Fancy Feast when you bought it?
Dude, it made me not like cats as a species. And I was like, you know what? I don't like cats.
Stop it. I don't want to see it now.
You're like, I hate cats.
You start
now.
donating to Doc Antel.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, it's pro-euthanization. No.
Okay, so you watched Cats, and Jake, I wanted to give you said you finished a book. I wanted to make sure you got to talk about your book.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been reading Carnosaur, which I think I've talked about it on here before. Carnosaur bears a lot of resemblances to Jurassic Park, but it was written way before. It was written... I don't know the exact number, but it was written years before Jurassic Park was written. It's about the book starts off with a dinosaur going on a killing spree. They capture it. There's like a cover up. You find out maybe halfway through that this really rich guy who runs a zoo has been creating dinosaurs. And when he explains how he's creating dinosaurs, it's exactly how they do it in Jurassic Park. And then towards the end of the book, there's all this like conflict and somebody lets all the dinosaurs out like on purpose. So the last like third of the book is just dinosaurs killing people and then going through a town and a city and just all that kind of stuff. It's great. But there's a movie that was made that came out in 1993, the same year as Jurassic Park. It's a Roger Corman film, so it's like super low budget. It's really corny. The dinosaurs are all just like hand puppets and shit and bad looking animatronics. Laura Dern's mother is in it, which is crazy. like came out the same year her
I
mother's
like
in.
that.
But also, I just wanted to mention it because oh boy, what's her name from the beginning of Jennifer Runyon is in it.
Oh, for real?
She's in the movie, yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about her earlier
But,
when we were watching.
but I rewatched the movie after I read the book, and I loved the book. The book was really fun. It had a lot of cool stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the movie. It's always been like kind of a cult favorite, but I hadn't watched it in a while, and I watched it the other day after I finished the book, and I was like, boy, this is not holding up for me. And also, it's really weirdly gross.
Yeah.
And not just gross because not just like gore. There's like the main character sucks. It's not the same character that's from the book. He's just like a jerk. And there's also this weird plot in the movie that is not in the book where the villain has also created some sort of airborne virus that makes all the women give birth to dinosaurs. And it's just gross.
Gross.
It's just
Regular
gross.
birth is pretty gross. I can't imagine.
It's just like
dinosaurs
it's just
any
weird.
better.
It's weird and pointless. And I'm like, why is this happening?
Every birth is just a close up of John Hammond. Come on, little one.
Push.
Push. I like Laura Dern's mom's like, I've got big news. I'm doing a dinosaur movie.
Oh, they make a jab at Jurassic Park at one point. Like whenever the main character is like figuring out the plot of the villain, which the plot of the villain is literally just like humans suck. I'm creating dinosaurs and I'm going to let them back into the wild so they can take the world back over. And then the main guy is like, yeah, sounds like that'd make a cool theme park. I'm like, okay, cool.
Hey,
we're gonna take shots at like the best movie ever made.
Hey, in the movie,
you look stupid.
Are the dinosaurs like stop motion? How do they do it?
No, they some of them are literal puppets.
Okay.
And then some of them are just animatronics.
Gotcha.
But they're really bad animatronics. I think there are some that are like, you can tell there are scenes where they maybe made like an arm of a dinosaur, and you can tell it's just like someone's actual arm in it, and they only shoot that. But it's just really like mediocre, easy stuff. There is like most of the dinosaurs are kind of small, but there is like they fight like a T-Rex at the end, and it's animatronic, but it's like super limited to the movements it can make. So it just basically roars and moves its hands back and forward. And that's about it.
Gotcha. I like this. Maybe each week we need to, listen, we're going to try our best to stay up to date with news and stuff, but we're going to have to really start just talking about what we're doing on a day-to-day basis to fill the content here. I like that. That's a good. That's just like YHS breaking news. I just had corn on the cob
For the first time.
Ever. No. Abby.
Yes.
What have you been doing to kill some time?
Dude, mostly corn on the cob. No, we did get an order of fresh fruits and vegetables delivered to us the other day from Bagged Atlanta, which they don't pay us money, but I enjoyed the fruits and vegetables. So I'll say that. But yeah, no, I was just making a list actually of some of the things that I've been doing to pass the time that have been helping me. And I enjoy watching roller coaster and theme park videos on YouTube of like actual like first person perspective from the front row of the ride, and like putting my hands up in the air while I'm watching it when they go down dips. Like we watched the Jurassic Park water ride the other night, and it just makes me feel like I'm actually leaving the house and doing something for a short period of time.
Yeah, it's not sad at all.
It's not depressing when you're sitting on your
it's not
mattress
sad at
in
all
your
seeing
living room.
Abby sitting on a mattress, putting her arms in the air.
Going down Splash Mountain. No, but that's been fun. Last night, you and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy for a quarantine watch along with James Gunn. And I thought it was going to be like, we were going to see him on screen. Like it'd be like MST3K. We see him watching it. But of course, it's just, you watch the Twitter feed and he live tweets it. So that was my first time engaging in something like that. And I absolutely loved it. It was like, it felt like James Gunn was like hanging out with us. And it was really nice to be synced up all starting the movie at the same time.
Yeah, but there was this really weird part. Abby kept putting her arms in the air.
Stop. It's a fun ride. Yeah, and to like hear him talking about the scenes that are his favorites, and they obviously are all the same scenes that I like most. And
that movie's great.
It was really emotional too. Like he really opened up about a lot of stuff.
I hadn't watched Guardians of the Galaxy in a while. It's top tier MCU for sure. Very, very awesome movie.
It's my number one. Yeah, I had a great time doing that. I've been gardening. I planted some catnip and some cat grass and some beefsteak tomatoes. Been hanging out in the backyard just to like do activities, honestly. Laying out, taking a lot of walks in the neighborhood, seeing cats. And Animal Crossing has been another big thing.
This Animal Crossing is a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's like The Sims. Like that was a game that I was really into because you have like limitless creativity to be like your own god, basically. Kind of similar with this game. Like you start from the ground up, like with your own island. You move in, you have a tent, and then you can move up to buying a house and adding additions to it. And some of the really cool stuff is that you can open stores and you can open a museum, which that's my favorite part. And Jake, I was telling you about it the other day and sending you pictures because I feel like you should play the game or at least like look at it because it's such a cool thing to have a museum that's empty and all yours and has all these different wings and exhibits. Basically, like you can catch butterflies and bugs and you can catch fish and bring them and donate them. And then you can also excavate like parts of dinosaurs and fossils. And it's so fucking badass. And Craig's showing me that Mondo has goddamn Twin Peaks codes. So you can get the Twin Peaks like looks like the album cover or like a poster to put inside your wall. And that's the shit that's stressing me the fuck out. Patrick Locklet and his fucking wife Joy are stressing me out because I'm sorry that sounded terrible, but while I'm on social media looking at other people who are playing this game that are probably more like gamer types than I am, you can like trick your house. Is that something people say? Trick your house out? Yeah, you can like add all sorts of cool stuff to your house and like buy really nice furniture. You pimp your house. It's like very. It
is
cool.
funny because like I'm
way behind on mine.
I look over and like somebody had customized their entire house to look like the inside of the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Yeah,
and their character looked just like Janine. And then I looked at Abby's, and it's just her by herself on an island with a tent. Still,
so I was like, I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, listen, give out your friend code again.
Okay, well, you talk for a second.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, it's a big deal. This, I think Nintendo planned this whole pandemic. This was really great marketing. They're like, oh, cool, let's release this game everybody's look forward to for 5 years at a time when everybody is stuck at home.
Yeah, well, it's great because for the people who are on it, you can hang out in person, basically, and see each other, bring each other gifts and stuff. And yeah, it's a great alternative to seeing people in person. I'm trying to find my friend code.
I've been keeping busy. I've been doing some real work stuff. We've got podcast stuff we're trying to do on an almost daily basis. But man, I got my toy room finally situated and cleaned to a point that I'm really happy with. That's been my big project that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. You know, I added another wall shelf that was delivered last week when Jake was here a couple weeks ago. Man, March is the longest month of all time. Mm-hmm. God, things that happened 2 weeks ago feel like a lifetime. I had gotten 2 of the new wall shelves, but I had moved all my vintage Star Wars stuff into this showcase I had. And I was not happy with it. I was having trouble sleeping at night thinking about how unhappy I was. What happened was a couple months ago, we went down to Jake's toy room and it was so fucking perfectly set up. And I don't know, I just got really mad and jealous and started questioning my own mortality. And I don't know. Anyways, got the toy room situated. Very happy with where it's at. And I am, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I'm trying to slow down a little bit on the toy buying. I'm trying to be as cautious and smart about spending as possible. I will say, though, it's really easy to justify some of these purchases because I haven't spent any money on gas. I haven't bought any gas station snacks. So I can buy a couple toys here and there. No one's gonna get too upset about it. I'm trying to think if anything came in this week. The one of the purchases from the eBay hang from last week was the 4 mint on card Star Trek Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. And Jake, when you saw that I bought those the next day, you literally texted me. You're like, "Hey, I'm mad at you."
They're such cool figures, man. They're figures that I've always like kind of had in the back of my mind. and they're cool. I like Star Trek. I like Ninja Turtles. I want them.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to open those. I think I'm going to leave those in package.
The cards are very cool.
Yeah, they just look great, and I don't
in there.
I don't know. I'm more of a loose collector, but if it looks really good in the package. Having said that, now would be a really good time to plug the Yes Have Some Unboxing Challenge.
I'm about to rip them open. I can't win. I tried. I told you I wanted to enter.
Listen, this is we're doing this on Instagram, and this is more than anything a way to engage with our toy collecting audience. So I opened up an Ecto Glow Peter Venkman figure on Instagram, and I said, hey, Ecto Glow, these are rare figures, but I'm a loose collector, and I'm going to display them proudly and have them forever, and I love them. We're going to do the YHS Unboxing Challenge. So all you have to do is go to our Instagram, look at the video, make a video of yourself opening up a toy. It does not have to be a rare toy. It does not have to be vintage. Just opening any toy in your house. Make the video, tag at YHS Podcast, and 2 friends. You'll be entered to win. And then next week we'll do a drawing. And we're going to give you a chance to win any toy of your choosing up to $100.
Alienators. The entire line.
That would be good.
That's all you get.
That's all. It's $30. We can handle it.
I'm like, any toy of your choice, as long as it's something I have and I'm willing to get rid of. So anybody needs some Playmate Star Trek figures? No, it's we know that everybody's at home literally doing nothing, and we want to give everybody a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of engagement. So that's why we're doing that.
Yeah, it supports the cause.
Yes, and cool. So you can head to our Instagram page to see that. But really, I've been focusing on the toy room, getting it straight, cleaned out my entire closet that's in there. We've had a lot of talks about how stressful it is when you open up the closet to the toy room because it's just overfilled with boxes and shit that you haven't thrown away. Yeah. Actually live streamed some of that on Facebook.
Yeah. I think our entire neighborhood cleaned out their closets on the same Saturday because as you drove through the neighborhood, you could see like the edge of everyone's house. Like the driveway was just piled with stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nationwide thing.
It was pretty cool, but I got rid of my Papa John's Ghostbusters pizza box. I bet I was the only one who had that. Actually, I wasn't. Austin Young texted me.
The Papa was on it. It's like, you don't even see him anymore.
Austin Young texted me. And he was like, look, I've got the same thing in my closet, which is insane. It's like, if I thought it was going to retain a lot of value 20 years from now, I wouldn't throw it away. But I just don't have much need for a lot of the extra 20. I've got the 2016 Ghostbusters stuff that I want. And I want to make room in that closet to add more detolves eventually and things like that. So I got to declutter. There's only so much room.
You declutter right? To detoff.
Jake, you told me you threw away some marshmallows recently.
I threw away some. Whenever I was doing my big room clean, I put a lot of stuff in boxes to go in storage, and I put a few things in boxes to go to Goodwill, and then I threw out an old box of Stay Puft marshmallows because why?
Yeah.
Why do I need to keep that?
Yeah.
I think we threw out some Ecto Cooler.
Yeah, I did. I got rid of a case of Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
Because I have 5 cases of it. And what am I going to do with it? They're heavy.
Can't drink them.
You can't drink them. They're probably more to ship than it's worth selling them for $10 or whatever. So there it is.
Yeah.
Are people going to be mad at me?
You'd bury them like a time capsule.
Oh my God.
But then what are they going to do with them in the future?
We're going to finally find out what life was like in 2016. Oh, cool. Ecto Cooler. Slimer's not even on it.
Disappointing.
Bad. I think bad is the word. So yeah, toy room's feeling good. Collectibles are situated. I'm very happy with the state of my Ghostbusters and my Ninja Turtles collection. Besides that, been watching a lot of The Office.
Hell yeah.
I think, are you still watching The Office?
A quarantine story.
The Netflix screen is probably something everybody's been seeing lately.
Yeah.
And, man, just trying to I don't want to get all emotional or.
Do it. Well, you should.
Emotional is probably not the right word, but we understand how hard this time is for a lot of people. And whether it's hard emotionally or financially or just that not having that routine. I know the weekends are killing me because normally on the weekends I'm like, boom, gonna hit 5 Targets and 6 Walmarts. I'm gonna go play some golf. I'm gonna call Jake 45 times to see what he's doing. And, it's just different. It's more like sitting at home, just kind of waiting this fucking thing out, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So
that's one of the reasons I play Animal Crossing, because it does kind of satisfy. I have a decent work ethic. I like to work and like feel good about the effort I put into something. So getting on Animal Crossing, you can do little duties and like kind of feel that like fulfillment of like I just put some time into something and my hard work and effort is paying off. So I think that can give me a little bit of satisfaction. But yeah, that's the thing I'm missing most is that routine and structure of what my weeks have used to be like. Now it's kind of like a long stream, like this never-ending day of relaxing.
I want to talk about something real quick before we start winding down. So we were supposed to go to MegaCon.
Yeah.
Right? In April, our plan was to go to MegaCon and, what is it called? Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
MegaCon was moved from April to the first week of June, and they are actively announcing guests daily. So, like, part of me is like...
They better stop that.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that going to be a thing that happens? Do you think MegaCon's going to happen in June in Florida?
No, because at this point, I think that's too soon. I think, like, first of all, we're at a point where no one really knows how long this is going to last. Like, there are projections, but nobody knows for sure how long we're going to be dealing with it. And then there's going to be probably like a buffer period. Like there's going to be like nobody's going to want to be doing anything for the first few months just to make sure. I read an article that said like some of the Asian countries are like getting re-exposed to it and their numbers are going back up after they've already taken control of it because people are traveling.
Right.
And I'm like, why are people allowed to do that? Right. We shouldn't be allowed to travel to another country at this point.
I'll tell you what.
And I think.
Well, I was going to say, if any YHS listeners come up with a vaccine for this, free Patreon for the rest of the year.
Give it to us.
For the rest of the month.
Yeah.
And, but you know, it's already like the state of Georgia, like, you know, we got told today in my county that, you know, we're mandatory stay at home until the end of this month. So until May. Right. So like how can you think when there are a lot of places and states that are like stay home until May? I don't think anything's happening the month of May or maybe the month of June. Like it's going to be a bit. Everything's going to get pushed back. MegaCon needs to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, we're all looking at Disney like, okay.
It's going to be too soon. It's going to be too soon.
There was a report that Disney World might have they might take guests' temperatures when they come in.
Where?
Yeah.
I just think that's insane. Could you imagine? I want the temperature fast pass.
Dude, I don't want the job of the person taking temperatures. That sounds
just
terrible.
Mickey Mouse shoving thermometers up people's butts.
It's kind of a ride.
Welcome to the most magical place on earth. Take over.
If it was 2001 and Ivan Reitman was directing it, there would be
an evolution. Hey,
examination.
listen. But I was like, hey, you know, I mean, they're saying, wait a minute, you don't want to come into Disney World, right? You know, because, you know, if you're hot, you don't want to come in. And I'm like, well, you already got, you know, Snow White and Elsa walking around. You need to take their temperatures because, you know, it doesn't get any hotter than that. What do you guys think of that?
He needs to go back to New York.
That guy's from New York. He's been testing that out all over. Hey, so what's the deal with theme parks, you know? I don't know. I think Jake, I completely agree. And I think once stuff does start reopening, there's going to be that weird hesitation of like, is it safe to like go back out? Like what is the, is like,
I think it'll be a little bit before things really get, all of that stuff gets back. I mean, I know like I feel like people in my town will be out doing shit immediately because some of them still are. But that kind of stuff, conventions, bigger things like that, theme park, I think that stuff might take a little bit to get back to normal.
Raves, foam parties.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get rid of cruises
Rainbow
altogether?
Parties. Cruises need to stop.
Cruises need to go. They're the worst.
I think all cruises sound like a nightmare horror story.
Get rid of all cruises. Get rid of Speed 2 cruise control.
Yeah,
Tom Cruise. Fuck, you owe me a Dr. Pepper.
All the cruises.
All cruises.
All cruises. Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate that guy.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We're getting political.
Dude, I like it.
But all of this to say, we really do appreciate everybody tuning in. We hope that we can provide some entertainment in these dark times. And we're working on some stuff. I've been trying to work on some guests. So I messaged Zach Galligan again.
Did you?
Yeah.
You use the quarantine card?
Yeah, I was like, man, people would really like to hear about Gremlins.
He's got time to answer.
People really want to talk about
People
Gremlins.
would really love to hear what Zach Galligan's doing right now.
Yeah, but it's like, if he's not texting us back
Hey,
now.
I would be like, hey, why doesn't your dad invent a goddamn shot for this fucking vaccine? Hey, instead of maybe the
juicer. The Orange Juice 2000.
Dude, that would be so funny to have Zach Galligan on and treat him like he's Billy from Gremlins. And that is
what's your dad been up to?
And then we're mad at his dad for not inventing a vaccine for coronavirus.
We thought it'd be a really important time to have you on the show.
He's like, let's say you're out on a business lunch. You get some mustard on your tie. It's like, duh, who cares? That's stupid. Vaccine, please. I love Gremlins. But I would like to have Zach Galligan on the show. I'd like to talk to him. I want to know what he thinks about this animated series coming out. But yeah, we're working on some stuff, and maybe
Bathroom Buddy.
Yeah,
that's what it's called.
The Bathroom Buddy.
The Bathroom Buddy.
And also, we're gonna do this. We've been teasing this for a long time, and I'm putting it out there right now. Troy Benjamin for the Ghostbusters Interdimensional Cross Trip is going to join us for the Summer of '89 episode, where we cover all the movies that came out that summer, including Batman, Ghostbusters 2. Gremlins 2. Oh, so much came out. We've been talking to Troy about doing this for years, and we got to make it happen.
Well, we wanted to build it up and make sure we waited 89 summers before we did it. So since we're about...
Yeah. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And then it sounds like we're going to have some sort of Carole Baskin monthly recap with Ron Daniels.
Investigation.
It was so fascinating talking to him about that. I really enjoyed that.
It was. I like it.
Oh, by the way, my friend code, for those of you who are so curious, is 009622144242. Again, that's 009622144242. And I promise I'll hang out with all of you and go to your islands soon. I'm just trying to get mine where I need it to be.
Cool. Sometime this week, I will be appearing on Taylor Williamson's new podcast. Taylor is my cousin. He is a stand-up comedian. He was on America's Got Talent several years ago, and he's launching a new video podcast during this time. And I did his first episode. Had a lot of fun. And hey, guys, plug the show.
Yeah.
I did.
What's it called?
Yeah, I thought it was called My Cousin Taylor's Podcast.
I did too. You said Taylor is my cousin. I was like, oh, that's a weird name.
Taylor is my cousin.
The problem is he was going to call the podcast "Don't Touch Me."
Yeah, that's a good one.
But apparently, somebody else already has that, so now it's going to be called "Don't Touch My Podcast." I don't know. He's working on the name.
Yeah,
I'll give a name later. Okay. I'll link it in group therapy. But listen, anything else before we go, guys?
I think this is it.
Go watch Cats.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Just do
Wash
it.
your
Yeah.
hands and join
It's
our
on my
group.
Voodoo account if you guys have. I don't know if you guys have access to the Voodoo account, but I think it should be there until tomorrow.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll just search for butthole. That's what it's normal search for me. It's fun.
We're losing our life.
Yeah.
We're losing our minds. Yeah, we're gonna keep on keeping on. Join us Friday for the eBay hang, and stay tuned to the feed for the bonus Patreon episodes. For Abigail Gardner, Jacob Walsh, my name is Craig Goldberg. You can find us on all of your iTunes and other podcast apps, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure that you are finding and subscribing to Yes Have Some. Follow us on social media at YHS Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, you can find us in Facebook, Yes Have Some Group Therapy. That's where we hang out. It's where we talk about toys and movies and all that stuff. I got nothing. My voice is going, so I'm going to go ahead and call the shot and get out of here. Thank you to Ron Daniels for joining us. And we will see everybody next week.
Later.
Cool.
Hey, Abby, real quick. Sing that song from Cats.
I don't know which one.
The only one anybody knows.
Why don't you ask Jake too? Because I don't know if I know it.
I think, he said he hated it. It's like,
Da, 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 da.
What?
Yeah, that
It's memories. Memories.
Yeah.
All of them. Those only words.
one.
Oh, are we still recording?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna get like stage fright.
All right, bye.
Bye.